All right, fellas. Customer dropped off this nice Echo. It's not running good. This is an SRM 210. Right, decent machine. We're gonna clean it up. Right, it's filthy. Okay, this thing is just disgusting every way you look. Let's get our super clean out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it outside and hook up the hose and the little electric pressure washer, which is perfect for this. We're gonna give it a quick rinse, douse it with some super clean. Give it a quick wash, and then I think we're going to take this cover off and then hit it with a little bit more super clean. Now, it needs new fuel lines. All right, we got to clean it. All right, let me get going. Let's get started on this. Look, see? There you go. See, it's all carbon fouled up in here. This is after I was shoving the pressure washer in there. We're going to put some foamy super clean on it too. And we'll put a little bit more around everything else, right? Because it's a mess. So we'll get this all cleaned up. I think I might even take this off and let the tank dangle. We'll see. Because I know it's stuck back behind there, but maybe we'll just do this for now. And it's long since needing a service. And this I couldn't get off either. It was really stuck on there, so we'll have to put that back. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Let it focus. All right, we're getting there. All right, we're going to have to see. We're probably going to have to order this bulb. This is the bigger bulb. So we'll get to that later. Well, I'm doing other stuff outside today, so this is a good day for this. Foamy. Oh, super clean. Get yours now. All right, I'm going to let that sit while I go and do other things. Oh yeah, it's cleaner. So when I get a chance tomorrow, we'll come over here and I think the first thing we'll do is we're going to take this off and we'll clean out the plug real quick. We'll put the plug wire back proper and we're going to prime it a little bit. We'll see if we can just get it to run, see how it runs. And because this is so bad that just this alone could be our issue. Yeah, you can see this screen is just about plugged. You kind of see through the light. Yeah. You should be able to see light like right through that. I know it's kind of hard to focus, but everything is just cooled up. What I'm going to do now is I pulled the plug. It's all black. I'm going to put some of my spritz into there, right? This is, we can use 2-stroke mix, but this is tranny fluid mix. And then I'll put the plug back in after I give it a quick cleaning. And then we'll see if we can kind of run it a little bit. Alright, it's clean up. I got some lacquer thinner, but we're going to have to put the torch on it, I think. And this cleaned up pretty good. Alright, I tightened up the gap a little bit to 28. It was getting a little bit big. Let's put this in. Let's give her a test and see. Alright, so I put a little bit of 2-stroke in before I put the plug in. And we're going to feed it some of this, just in case. Yeah, choke is off. So she should prime up. Let's see what happens. Put it to on, give it some throttle. Close. Let's give it some more juice. Real good. That's all it really needed. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. Let it get hot. goop in that muffler. I still see a lot of gack in there, so I'm going to try to take that off, and we'll burn that out too. I just pulled the carburetor off. It's really simple to do. It's just these two bolts, and I'll show you how to put this back, and you'll see how I took it off. It's real simple. So I'm going to set up on the bench, and we're going to take a peek inside. So this grommet is shot, and it's been leaking, and it's been leaking all over the machine. Let's take a peek in here before I order anything. We just want to take a look in there, and we'll see what's inside, and we should be able to rebuild it. I should have what I need for this diaphragm. Let me set up the camera. All right, fellas, let's just start off with this. It's a little bit dirty, but we're going to use it because it's black, and it'll help you guys to see things a little bit better. And I just want to clean everything up first, and then we'll take a look at the wiring for the hoses before we take it apart. I'm just going to take some of this old gas and solvent. I'm also going to use it to clean all of this stuff, right? Everything is filthy. Look at that. So let me just brush it first. We don't want this migrating into the carburetor. This is all deformed, and it's all mushy. It's tired. It's been in service for a long time. Carburetors are cheap for this. You can get a whole kit if you want, like on Amazon or something, for about 20 bucks with everything. So if you're real ghouled up inside and it's still not working out for you, it's worth, I think, spending a little bit of extra money. All right, cleaned up. Let's take a look. So everything was fouled, absolutely fouled with filth. I want to adjust the camera a little bit. That all looks good. Filter's nice and clean, all blowed out. Nothing wrong with any of this. Let me just put this down. All right, so looking at the camera, right, this is my right. This is my left. This is the fuel tube, which is black on this one. This is your pickup. And this little line here, that's your return from here. Okay, because so what this is doing is it's sucking in, and it sucks in and then pushes it out over the clear tube. All right, and this is just a vent. And so we're going to get this with a whole kit because I need the grommet. Because this grommet is shot. Everything is shot. Let's just put a little bit of our release agent on these guys and just give them a twist. Yeah, she'll come. Okay. That stuff is like awesome. It really is like a release agent. That's my tranny mix. By the way, there's an adjustment here, and you'll get a closer look, but it's the only jet adjustment on the machine, and we shouldn't need to touch it. By the way, his fuel was a little too thick as well. It's getting old. Okay, and there's a little screw there on this jammy. Or, lube on it. It should come up. We shouldn't have to take off the throttle. That's not what I want to do. So let's just give it a little. There we go. A little bit more on. Hopefully we don't wreck anything. There it comes. There it is. So this is where our valves are. There's our little screen there. Everything is clean in here, and that makes sense too because it ran fine. So we're okay. All right. We're going to rinse this out, but I'd like to see if I could just get up the... Well, yeah, there it is. It's a Mylar. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay. Let's put that down. Put that down. We're going to wipe that off with a lint-free towel after. We want to go to put it together and just wipe it. And everything looks good there. And like this, Because we know it all works, we'll just make sure it's clean. And get, a lot of times with fuel, with the fuel that's like this green stuff in particular, it will varnish up. All right, I'm just going to lightly blow it with compressed air. Lightly. Okay. Let's put that to the side. That's ready. And now we want to take a look. This is where our diaphragm is. It's really like a fuel pump. I should have it. You know, it's a Zama too, so it's probably okay. There's some water behind it. You know, because we did rinse it, but yeah, it's in good shape. There's some dirt behind it too, fellas. It got in through that hole. So what we want to do, I'm still going to put a new one on, but this one's not terrible. So it was kept well. Yeah, there's all kinds of filth on it. I could see it. Let me give it a little blow. All right. I'm just going to hit it a little bit with this stuff here, because I don't want any of this like sand and filth on everything. And then it's kind of flooded because I don't want anything getting in. So I'm going to blow away from the table. Again. She's coming. Put a little bit of my release agent on it. He's on there good. Here it comes. Yeah, she's in beautiful shape. That's fine. I should have that one. I'll go look in a minute. All right, now we can give this a quick clean. So I'm going to push down on the fulcrum just to try to wash anything out from under the seat. And just, you know, go through the holes. You don't need a lot. This thing's in good shape. That's it. Any grit that might have gotten behind something. Open the throttle a little bit. All right, I think we're good. I'll give it a blow with air. Looks good. We're done with that. All right, I got some HIPA parts. So this is the shape. That's the old one. And the other thing you got to worry about is this little plunger right here. Okay, it's got to be a shallow one on this one. They make them where that little teat is bigger. So this is the one that is replacing it. And it's got to be like linen. Okay. HIPAParts.com, I think it is. I'll leave a link. And then we're going to get a bulb. This is the bigger bulb. And it should work. But if it doesn't, it seems to be the same. Now, we can't finish everything today, but we can keep going, and I'm going to order what I need to order and just lightly snug them up and then tighten them. Don't overdo it, fellas. No power tools. I think this is a tiny little Allen or something. Yeah. And that's your adjustment. It's literally this little brass ferrule here, and inside is an adjustment. We're not going to touch it. It shouldn't need it. All right, so this is all clean and ready to go on this side. And then we're going to take this guy. It's a sandwich, so we're going to put it back together again. And hopefully we get it right. It goes this way. Okay. And you can see, because there's a pocket in here, for this bulge. It's like a bladder. I'll try to. When the cameras are zoomed in, it's you know, everything is. I know it's also like weird upside down for me too, fellas. So, trying to find good ways of doing this. Don't pry too much because you see these little locating pins. When you're trying to pry it up, see them? You'll break them. So that's why I was so careful. You want to kind of pull upward. So once I got it moving, I was using my release agent. There it goes. So you kind of like snapped in, make sure it's flush. And then we got the screw. It's the shorter of the screws. This is nice because it's got this extra little leverage point. Right, these are nice. These are the Zamas. This is a nice carburetor. They're usually pretty damn accurate right out of the box. They are good. All right, now we get that in. And I think this goes like that, right? You got to have some clearance for the hoses. See? And we'll just kind of stagger snug. All right, now we'll just kind of stagger, tighten. Well, we're not really tightening. It's got to get snugged and flat. We'll come back and now we'll do the tightening. All right, a little bit of our tranny fluid stuff in there. Along here, we'll also put some on the cable as well. A little bit in there for now, but just give it a move. Another thing I want to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of a turn on this because I think the idle is a little low. There we go. Just a tiny little bit. I can always come back and adjust that. So that's it. For now. Okay. And so what I wanted to mention, this grommet is shot. And that's what was leaking. And when you prime, you're actually slightly pressurizing the gas tank, which helps the fuel delivery in all the different positions she's going to suck from. You know, because we flip these things on their side. So everything's got to make a good seal. And, of course, we don't have one because this thing is shot. It's so mushy and shot. All right, let's get to the next step. Well, it's like a week later, and I got the part in from HIPA, and I'll give you part numbers in a bit. But you get, in this kit, you get these. And I think I ordered these, actually. I paid for this. I don't remember now, you know, because I'm always so busy. But what's in here, a bird or something? It says a HIPA. It's a 90069 repower 210J, or it could be 0 or O, J, or U. It's hard to read this stuff. String trimmer. And like I said, you know, you can go online. So you get these two guys, which we already used one. So I'll put that away. And then that's it right here. And, you know, this is the best way to handle it, honestly. Because, as you saw, this got so distorted and it was leaking all over. All right, so what we're going to do, and if you remember, you can always go back to the other part of the video. All right, we're just going to put a little bit of nutrients on there. Just push it on. And, you know, get it on all the way. That's just your vent. Yeah, that's good. That's on. And then, you know, if you have to adjust it, you can, but we'll do that later. Let's get this on, and we'll go over and we'll put it on the tank, right? You'll see in a minute. So, beautiful, right? Get the new filter. You know, because this was dead. Now, this filter might be okay because it ran, but I could save it for another machine when I need a filter that I know is clean. But, you know, you get your new filter and everything. It's just the best way to go about doing it. Let's go install it. Let's pour some of this stuff down in here. Remember, this is my tranny fluid mix. And lube that up a little bit, right? You can put a cable lube in there too, but this stuff will work well. Everything was so dirty and so gooled up. That should work. And let's put a little bit more of our mix around this and around this. And it should just go right in. So we have to put the filter in first, and then everything else will go right in. But what we want to do is align it, right? I'll try this blunt screwdriver. I blunted the end down. I made it, I use it for a number of things, and I just kind of removed any burrs with some sandpaper. And I'm just going to see if I can press it in. Yeah, that's better. And I just kind of shoot it in there. Can I get it in this side? Let's see. I gotta try to hold it at the same time. Unfortunately, it's working its way around to the area that I can't get to. I don't know of any other way to do this. I haven't done enough of them to tell you how this is a special tool or something, or like what would you use. Now the problem is it's created this bubble back here. So I don't want that, right? I want to get it in back here. All right. Royal pain in the neck. Let's see if we can get this guy on. So this one just slips in, and you have to turn the throttle, open the throttle, drop it in to this key here, this slot. You're going to have to turn it. Get a little screwdriver. So I'm going to open the throttle up so I have some room to work. Then we got to kind of turn it to get the cable in. And it'll fit, the cable will fit into the slot, and then there's like a place for the barrel of the end of the cable to fit into as well. And it's going to fight you, right? Yep, like it's fighting me right now. It's simple, but it's not, right? It's almost impossible to get everything lined up. But you'll figure it out. So I think we're good here. Just kind of line everything up. All right. There's a couple of things I want to put back. Since we know it should run fine, but we're going to test it before I put all that stuff back. That's a fire brick. Alright, that's good. And then I'll put it in my degreaser thing, and it'll get off whatever's left. Oh, it came clean. Okay. And I gave the screen a little brushing with a wire brush, and then I dunked it in that solvent. This is lacquer thinner. I also have the bolts in there because they were fouled too. So I'm going to go put that on, and then I guess I'll put on the bump spool and check that out too. All right, fellas. So on this model, we just there's a hole in there. Should be able to see it. And I'm just going to put a drift in. Well, I'm doing it with my left hand. Alright, let me put the camera down. I'll show you. I have a strap wrench. And you could do it another way. You could try sticking a screwdriver in the hole and what have you. But I use one of these strap wrenches. And I already loosened it up. I just gave it a good tightening. and I spun it around, and of course this is upside down, so I'm going clockwise, right? And we should be able to spin this right off on this model, right? And there you go, and you can pull off any junk that might be in there. I see some stuff. Get that out, okay? You can put a little bit of lube in here. There's all kinds of junk in here. So I'm gonna pull this nonsense out. Right? That's causing a problem, because this'll actually stop it from moving properly. Put this bushing back, right? It's like a spacer bushing seat. And then we'll spin the new one in, but what we want to do is we want to put a little lubricant on that thread. I'm going to put a little bit of no-sees on that. Now, you know, there's junk in here, okay? I'm already pulling it out. We're going to put this one that he has here is a used one, but it's like brand new used. It must have been used a couple of times. So that's the one we're going to go with. And this one, I guess we'll just keep it around, and it's a decent, you know, head. I just wanted to show you while this was off, right? You see there's a slot cut in the guard, and then we can put something like this, like a drift or something in there. It's all cleaned out, and a little bit of no-sees or grease or something on there, right? And then this will thread right on. Now, a couple of things you can do is you can have, if you get a piece of rubber and a stick, like not a 2x4, but like a 1x or something, you could wrap the rubber around it and try to muscle it off. If you lock this in a vise or clamp it down to a workbench or something, or a table, you may be able to grab this with gloves and muscle it off. You may be able to wrap a rag or something around it and muscle it off, or an old belt, right? Something like that. But we're just going to put this on, and let me put it back to where I wanted it. Okay. So make sure it's down all the way. I'm going to line that hole. See the hole there? Okay, with that, and then we'll spin this thing back on. You got to get it's splined, so you got to get everything to line up, and we're going to put this back on. Okay, so this goes counterclockwise. All right, and then just give it that's it. All right, let me spool it up. All right, I got a couple of tips. All right, so this guy's got wind in one direction. I was going that way, right? So you got to put it in, and you have to kind of hold it. But what I do is I pull it tight, and that's how I got those little bends in there. So you got to pull it tight. I really should be using the other camera, but just to try to show you. Get it in there, and we want to pull tight. Get both of them tight, and the first few rounds tight, so it stays. Wind in the direction of the arrow, and then start to loosen up. And I pulled this out, cross my hands, cross my shoulders, and that's about 6 feet each. So there's at least 6 feet each, maybe a little bit more on these. And then I'm going to start to loosen up, right? Because if it's too tight, what'll happen is it'll bind. So now I'm loosening up my grip a little bit. It was just tight for the first couple of turns so that it stays in place for us. And that also it stays in place as this thing begins to spool out. Okay, now let me change positions because you're in my way. One will always be a little bit longer. This one's a little bit, we'll put this one in first. We'll put the bottom one in first on the spool. Kind of get it out of our way, and then come around. We'll put this one in. And then all you got to do, just kind of hold it and just line it up, and it'll pop down. Okay? It's in there, and then give it a twist until it locks, right? Until you feel it lock. It'll lock. Might take you a minute. You just got to make sure it locks in there. Hold on. I see she's locked now. All right, now let's see if we can pull some out. Now it'll push in and turn. There we go. Make sure it's still locked. All right, we're set. Now, what I'm going to do after that is we're going to sharpen the cutter. So, It actually has a double cutter on it. So let me get the tool for that, and I'll show you the cutter sharpening. Now you can use whatever you want. You can use a file on here or any kind of grinder, but I'm going to use this. Oh yeah, that's sharp enough. All right, doesn't need to be much. Yeah, Arch's Garage. All right, so I pressed the primer bulb in, it filled up. Let it warm up. Let me try it out.
Moments later.
Alright, let's just give it a quick restart. She's got to run a little bit longer. But I just tried the bumper. That's working fine. And it spooled out some more, and of course it cuts. So, without touching it, because it's hot, screaming now. Yeah, she's really working good. All right, she's got smoke coming off of it and stuff because, you know, we cleaned it. And yeah, she's really starting to come up now. All right, that's it. It's done, fellas. So that's it. The Echo SR, what is it? SRM-210. Nice. Got to call the customer and let him know that he's got his favorite machine back. She's in beautiful shape. I want to say thank you to you fellas who are watching Arch's Garage. And hopefully you enjoyed this one. This is a nice machine. If you find one of these or one of these in this range, it's got the better head on it. The whole assembly up here is a little bit better. All of this is kind of built kind of like a still standard. You know, it's a notch below or so. He did mention to me, is like, I like to add a little bit more oil in, right? I don't really recommend that because what do you mean how much a little bit more, right? It did get a little fouled. And that could be coming from the fact that he's adding too much oil to it. So we'll talk about that as well when I see him. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let's build the channel together, fellas. All right? Let's get started on the next project. And then if you know what's wrong with it, then what are you telling me for? What do you mean you hit something? Okay, what did you hit? Okay, well that's, yeah, alright, well I gotta see what it, yeah, yes, I have other machines, man. I got a lot of machines, they're all beautiful.